So today I decided to do a discussion video. This one is kind of in response to or encouraged by ABookOlive. She posted a discussion on DNFing, and I've seen a couple other people talk about it. The reason I mention ABookOlive is because she was drinking when she was doing hers, so I decided to drink while doing mine. We're going to start this off with, this is a different bottle of wine than this wine. This is a Merlot. This is a Sauvignon Blanc. This is empty because this is from a book review. DNFing. Did not finish. I feel like it's still frowned down upon because it's like, oh, you couldn't make it and finish that book. But at the same time, I feel like it's also like put on this shelf where it's like, oh, you did that. You know, you didn't like it, so you just didn't do it. Like, that's kind of awesome. I wish I could, because some people just can't. Some people just do not DNF books, and that's fine. I've always really been a DNFer. It used to be like I would start a book, and if I wasn't enjoying it, I would just stop reading it. I'll come back to it later. Now I've gotten to a point where if I don't like it, it doesn't matter how far I'm in, I'll stop. So far this year, I have DNF'd 2 books. That is The One and Only and The Heart of the Matter by Emily Giffin. Heart of the Matter, I made it to page 318. And in Heart of the Matter, I made it to 96. Both of these irritated me for different reasons, which I don't feel like getting into at the moment. I'll probably get into them more when I do my Emily Giffin author profile. But both of these books had plot lines. Specifically, there were plot lines that were occurring and going to occur. Like, I could just see where this one was going, and I flipped to like later pages and was like, oh my god, I was right. And this one, I just really didn't like where the plot was going. It took a while for it to be, you know, super obvious and uncomfortable to the point, but so these 2 books already in the first month of the year, I have 2 DNFs. So actually, because of the fact that I already did that this year, I started my jar. So a lot of people do those star jars. Well, I can't fold paper, and I don't really have a lot of spare paper. But I do have a lot of beads. So what I did was I went through my beads, and I found a bunch that that worked, and I separated them by size and stuff like that. So I have different colors for different genres and different sizes for different star ratings. So, well, it's not really, it's different styles. So the fancy ones are 4 and 5 stars, which you can see I have a bunch of 4 and 5 stars because pretty much everything I've read this year I've rated 4 or 5 stars. The plain ones are 2 and 3 stars. I have small ones for 1 stars, and then I have absolutely tiny ones for DNFs. So you can't see it. You can't really see it, but I have 2 DNFs down there for a romance contemporary genre. So that jar kind of helps me out because I'll know how many books I started this year and how many I gave up on. But I've gotten to a point in my life, in my reading life, where this goes along with unhauling too. I don't need to keep all of these books around. If I didn't like it, why keep it? If I'm never going to read it, why keep it? If I'm never going to finish the book, I'm never going to finish the book. And even if I decide that I want to plow through the book, I'm never going to finish. I'll get halfway through, and I will keep putting it down, and I'll keep putting it down, and I'll keep picking up other books, and it will literally sit on my shelf, my currently reading shelf, for the entirety of the year. And then I'll have to give up on it. Like, it just happens that way. And I have no shame in DNFing. I don't see why anyone should feel bad about not finishing a book. I mean, there are some books, like I tried to read Anna Karenina last year, and I gave up. I was mostly through it, but it just wasn't working for me at the time. So I gave up on it. I didn't finish, but I might try again. These 2 books I'm never going to try again. But with a lot of classics, I just start them at the wrong time, so I'll stop reading them, and I might pick them up later, but I might not. So I think DNFing is a thumbs up thing that you should do if you're not enjoying something. I believe in DNFing a series. I believe in DNFing books. If you get 2 books into the series and you hate it, why read the third book? You get halfway through the third book in a trilogy and you hate it, why finish? Imagine your own ending. It'll probably be better than the actual ending, and you'll just be happier that way. You won't have hate read 4 books in a series, because I know there are people who do that. Which, again, there's nothing wrong with hate reading. I think it's entertaining because you know you don't like the series, so you keep reading it, so you get just this different viewpoint on the series. So those are always interesting. I don't like DNFing. Like, it makes me sad when I have to put down a book because I just don't agree with what's happening. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm bored, or I just plain out hate it. Like, it makes me sad because usually going into a book, I'm like, I want to enjoy this. I think we all go into books, you know, wanting to enjoy them. It makes me a little sad every time I have to put a book down and be like, I don't like this. I'm never going to finish this. I don't want to know what happens to these characters. And I can't read anymore. It makes me sad because, you know, it's something that I've looked forward to. Like, I've looked forward to these books. I really enjoyed the first 4 books that I read by Emily Giffin. And then I started one of these and I didn't like it. So I started another one and I loved it. And then I started the next one and I didn't like it. So I'm really worried going into her final book, the most recently published, because I'm worried if I'm not going to like her anymore. Like, it makes me sad. But this one is also not a romance. It's a contemporary, so I liked her contemporary that I read in January, but the 2 romances just didn't work for me. So please, let me know your opinion on not finishing books, DNFing. Do you DNF or do you push through? Do you hate read? Let me know in the comments. I would love to chat about this with you. So that is it. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can check out my next video. Have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye.